I'm in a sing-songy mood. This episode's gonna be weird.
That's totally going in.
Ah, crap.
Dear listener, today's going to be a good day, and here's why.
Because today, we're talking our Dreamcasts. I'm Becca.
And I'm Eni, and this is Sincerely Us, a podcast for the casual musical theater fan.
So, Eni, how was your week?
Anything
fun?
It was good. I can't remember it now that you asked me.
Instantly flew out of your head, didn't it you?
Yeah.
Didn't it you?
Didn't it me. I honestly can't remember anything that happened this week now. Oh, I had jury duty. That was this week.
Which is funny, because most people will be like, oh, I had jury duty. And you're like, oh, I had jury duty.
Okay, well, I work in the legal field, and I have always actually wanted to sit on a jury. So I was very excited about it, and then I wasn't so excited about it by day 2, and then after being there for 2 days, I didn't end up getting picked, so then I was just even more upset about it because I spent 2 days and I didn't get picked. So, yeah. I think that was all that really happened this week. I had a pretty boring week.
Yeah, me too. I just worked all week. We're boring human beings when we're not seeing shows.
Right? I know, it's like I didn't go see any shows. I mean, I haven't gone to see any shows in a while. That's all you recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a pretty dull week for me over here.
Eni, guess what I did this week?
What did you do this week?
Bought tickets to Disney World.
Oh, I'm so excited. Listen, we took our friendship to the next level this week. We became My Disney Experience friends, which means now we can plan together. For when you come down in September. And like that's a big step for me. Like, I don't go to Disney with just anybody. I mean, I do, but like
wow.
Well, hold on. I do, because I look for any and every opportunity to go to Disney, but I don't make plans and like coordinate fast passes with just anybody.
Which is hilarious, because I'm like, I want to go to Chef Mickey, and I want to see all the shows. And you're like, all right. I'm like, I don't care about anything else, really.
I mean, neither do I. well, you want to go see Toy Story because you haven't done Toy Story.
Well, yeah, but I figured that's just like, I want to go to Hollywood Studios. I almost just said MGM because I hang out with you too much.
It will always be MGM to me, just like it will always be Downtown Disney.
It's not Downtown Disney?
No, it's Disney Springs.
I thought that was only in California.
Nope, it's Disney Springs.
That's stupid. All right, we need to stop talking about Disney. Otherwise, this will become a Disney podcast. Also, you know what I just realized?
What?
None of the musicals that we are dreamcasting today are Disney properties.
Is it?
No, none of them are in Disney.
Look at us. That's why we just spent the last 5 minutes talking about Disney, because we had to get it in there somewhere.
We had to get it in there somewhere.
We had to. Okay, so we are talking about 3 different shows possibly today,
and we tried to pick shows that we haven't extensively talked about,
which was difficult. But we've kind of put together our list of who we would love to see play these roles in these shows.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was an awkward sentence.
We didn't really pick any rules. It was just anyone that you want to see play this. So they could have played them before. They could have basically anyone that you think would be good in that role.
Yeah. I definitely have a couple people that have played these roles before, or people that would probably never play these roles.
Mine's more like, if I was the casting director and they were like, you can pick any person you want, these are who I'd pick.
Cool. So which one do you want to start with?
Wicked.
Okay.
Because I am not as confident about this one, because Wicked's a hard show voice-wise.
Okay.
Okay, so let's leave Elfie and Galinda for the end.
Fine.
Because they're the most important. Who would you pick for Bach?
Okay, so for Bach, I picked Ben Platt.
He would be such a good one!
Because I feel like the range is right, and even though it's not a huge part, I still feel like he's that kind of shy, soft-spoken, and I don't know, Ben Platt seems perfect for that.
Yeah, and he definitely wouldn't play that role now just because he's a big star now.
Yeah, of course. He's a Tony Award-winning performer now, so.
Right. I picked Andrew Keaton Bolger for kind of the same reasons.
I don't know why I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised and I don't know why. Because
I was trying to think of someone who could play adorable and that. I mean, he's the Tin Man. So I was trying to think of someone that could play that. So it was kind of hard, but I also just wanted someone that was cute because I feel like Bach is just cute. He's just cutie.
He is, and that's kind of why I thought Ben Platt would be perfect for Bach.
I feel like they both could play very similar roles.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I could see Ben playing Seymour. I couldn't see him playing Crutchy.
I can totally see him playing Seymour.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. I feel like they have very similar acting styles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially, I've seen, like, videos of him being Cunningham, so.
Okay. Who did you pick for the Wizard?
I didn't pick the Wizard.
You didn't pick the Wizard?
No, because, honestly, so, Wicked is a show that I have seen, and I've, like, diligently listened to the soundtrack, but it's not one that I, like, know inside and out, so I didn't feel like I knew the Wizard well enough to be able to know, like, his range and, like, his acting and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I did pick the Wizard.
Who'd you pick?
I picked Dakin Matthews, who was, I think it was the first national tour. It was a tour that I saw for Waitress. He plays Joe, like the old man.
Oh.
He has that same kind of, like, elderly, like, I don't know, just really wise, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of feel to him. And he's also Headmaster Charles in Gilmore Girls.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but he was the Joe that I saw when I saw Waitress when I went on tour.
Oh, cool.
So that's kind of why I picked him.
All right. Who'd you pick for a Dillman?
Michael Park.
I would love a Michael Park.
Michael Park is the originator of what's his name?
Mr. Murphy. Larry Murphy.
Larry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I picked for Dillerman.
That's a good one. So I didn't really think of, like, the age range of Dillman because you can always age people up. Park is definitely a good, like, he's right in that age where he's supposed to be. But I was thinking of someone who, like, already has experience being a goat. And so...
Go ahead.
I picked George Salazar.
Okay.
Also... I have, like, Lightning Thief on my brain today because we're recording this on Sunday the 28th, and the Lightning Thief tour ended today. So, like, I've been listening to the soundtrack all day. So, it really was just like, who would make a good goat? Oh, wait, George Salazar.
I love it.
And also, I think he would be good at playing, like, an older character. He's only ever played young, but I think he would be good at playing old.
I would be interested to see him as Dillerman. That would be interesting.
He's already got the braying, is that what it's called? The braying. So on that same track for Fiyero, I picked Chris McCarroll, who is the original Percy Jackson. He has, like, just a great belt, and I would love to hear him sing the Fiyero Elfie song. Oh my god, what is it?
As Long as You're Mine?
Yes, I would just love to, just because that's such, like, males don't get to belt as much, and especially women-powered shows. And I think that would be a great belting song, and he has a great belt. And that is the only time that I will talk about their voice, because, like, all the other characters, I was like, who could act this character? Because I'm very bad with voices. But I think that he would be a great Fiyero. Okay,
so for Fiyero, I went a little less known. So I picked Jason Michael Evans, who is currently playing Gleb on the national tour of Anastasia. And his voice is just... butter. Like, he's obviously not, you know, Dimitri, who is Anastasia's, like, love interest in the show. So for me to, like, have emotions about, like, the antagonist in this show, his voice was just amazing. So I would love to see him as Fiyero. And I have a feeling he's played Fiyero. Like, I'm not 100% sure about it, but I feel like everyone's played Fiyero.
I know, they don't last long. All right. You ready for the big two?
Okay, but I'm leaving Elfie for last. So who did you pick for Glinda?
Well, we're going to have to say our Elfie at the same time because I'm pretty sure it's the same person.
I don't think so, but go ahead.
Okay. I picked someone who's already played Glinda, but...
Okay, so did I.
I wonder if it's the same one. But it's honestly just like a performer that I want to see live, and I picked Cara Lindsay.
Okay, no.
Okay, but she just played Glinda, I think, last year, before she did Beautiful.
Okay.
But I would love to see her just because I love her.
Okay, so I picked Annalie Ashford, who played Lauren in Kinky Boots. And in trying to remember her name and looking her up, I found out she's actually already played Glinda. So that works. She played Glinda in, like, 2000, like, I want to say, like, late 2000-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just, like, she's hilarious in Kinky Boots. And, like, Glinda has such a bubbly and funny, like, personality. I think that it would, I mean, obviously she's played the part before, so.
Well, I also think Glinda is such, like, I don't want to say underrated, because she definitely isn't. She's literally 2, but she's number 2. But people, when they think Wicked, they like instantly think of Elfie. But I just think that Glinda is such like a funny and underrated character by how you have to perform her.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I agree with that.
Especially Popular. That's still one of my favorite musical theater songs ever.
Popular is such a good song. And like a lot of her like acting in between songs. Like,
yeah.
Right before Popular, like the whole entire scene right before Popular is like just amazing.
Right. And I feel like because this show literally was written for Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, it's so hard to cast it because it's such a hard show to perform. Like, it's so intense.
It really is.
All right, you want to say our Elfie?
Okay.
3,
okay.
2, 1. Leo Michelle. I was surprised. Not me. That's all we have to say. Like, we don't have to go into why she should. Just go listen to her and Chris Colfer sing Defying Gravity.
I mean, we are definitely fans of Glee.
I should have picked Chris Colfer for Glinda. Love of my life.
This week.
Yeah. Well, he would be, I think there was like a campaign he did where he wanted to be Guy Linda to make it like a female, like a male.
Fair enough. Yeah, we are pretty big fans of the TV show Glee. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted Lea Michele to play that part, and when they announced that they were making a movie, I was like, they're going to cast Lea Michele. And of course, at this point, they're not, but...
They're not?
I don't think so.
That'd be sad.
I mean, that movie's been announced and, like, has been postponed 8 billion times.
Oh, yeah, it was supposed to come out last year.
Yeah, it hasn't even started filming.
I think it should be a cartoon. I would love to see Wicked kind of like... I don't even want it to be like Frozen style. I want it to be like a cartoon, not Frozen, animated.
A cartoon would be interesting, but I would still want to see, like, a live-action adaptation of the show.
I never want musicals to be made into movies. I want musicals to get the Newsies treatment. That's it. That's all I want. Or the falsettos treatment. I want it to be a recording of
the actual show, production. Just on stage.
And the Hamilton one, once it stops selling tickets, we'll eventually get the Hamilton recording.
So, like, when we're, like, 80.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm still gonna watch it and cry like a baby. We'll probably still be doing this, so...
Probably. We will still be doing this. Even if there's only, like, 3 people listening.
So next, we're going to do one of my all-time favorite shows. And I have a lot of opinions about this. I have listened to every soundtrack. I have seen pretty much every performance you can find. I worked on this show when I was assistant stage managing. I helped design the set. This is my show. Hate the movie, though, y'all. I hate the movie.
Everyone, except for one person on this list, 2 people on this list, have played the part that I want them, that I want to watch them play.
Same. Most of mine are people who have played. I just really want them to play it all together so I can see it, just for me.
Okay. I mean, fair enough.
Oh, we didn't even say what show. Les Mis.
Oh.
Les Mis.
Yeah, we're talking about Les Mis. Sorry. We got overly excited.
All right, so I have 3 on this list that 2.5, that I will not accept anyone else. I have that strong of opinions.
Cool, because I guarantee you that those people are not on my list, so go ahead.
Probably not.
Well, actually, I have a feeling that one of those people are definitely on my list.
Okay, well, first of all, let's do Jean Valjean, my favorite character in the whole show. I picked Alfie Boe. Now, he was in the 2010 25th anniversary cast with Nick Jonas. That whole cast is perfect, except for Marius, but I'm not going to go into it. I genuinely, and I've seen...
Wait, didn't Nick Jonas do Marius?
Yes, he should not have been on it.
I'm confused because I know your feelings about the Jonas Brothers, so I'm going to need you to elaborate on that statement a little bit.
Okay, fine. Before I get into why Alfie Boe is perfect, I found Les Mis because I was a huge Jonas Brothers fan and I went to go see it in concert. Then, once I started studying theater and stuff, realized Nick Jonas is the weak link in that. I do think he can do musical theater because he did very good with How to Succeed. However, I do not think he has the training or the voice to play Marius. Marius is a very hard part. It is a very specific part, and I just do not think he did well with that.
Okay.
He also was surrounded by incredibly talented people, like Samantha Barks, who is not on this list, but it's fine. I know, she's not on this list. You'll know why when I get to Eponine.
Okay.
However, she is my number 2 for Eponine. That is my honorable mention before we get to the Eponine.
Okay.
Anyway, Alfie Boe is Jean Valjean. He has the most beautiful voice. Oh, he's trained opera singer. He's just beautiful, and the emotion he conveys is so perfect. And now I just want to go watch the 25th anniversary.
Okay.
Who'd you pick?
So are you ready?
Yeah.
I picked Hugh Jackman.
All right, guys. So I'm going to be looking for a new co-host. If anyone would like to DM me on Instagram, my handle is @BeccaEdos. I will not accept that. I'm looking for a new co-host. Episode over. Thank you for listening to Sincerely Yes Podcast.
Listen, okay, I know your feelings. I understand your feelings. I don't agree with your feelings, which is why he's on this list for me, because honestly, like, I just want to see him perform it, like, actually live, like, not behind the camera. So you can hate me all you want. You can try to replace me all you want, but he's still on my list.
I don't hate you.
Uh-huh. That's why you just tried to cancel our podcast mid-episode.
It's fun. I try to cancel it every week.
True.
Whenever I'm mad at you.
Okay, fine, whatever. Let's move on.
Okay, but why do you think he would be good?
I'm not sure, honestly. Like, I don't... Okay, it's not that I don't love Les Mis. I do. I love Les Mis. I probably don't love it as much as you do. So this was definitely the hardest list for me, just because I haven't really thought about it that much.
Right.
And as much as you hate Hugh Jackman, like, I love him. I have no problem saying that live on the record. And I would literally just like to see him live. That's basically it.
Should have seen him on tour.
I didn't, though.
I'm sure he sang from Les Mis. I'm sure he sang Bring Me Home.
Christy went to go see him, so...
Okay, the reason I don't like Hugh Jackman, honestly, this is honest, is because, I mean, I've listed it in every single episode, but it's because Bring Him Home is one of my favorite musical theater songs of all time. And he did not do that song well. It is incredibly hard. It is an incredibly hard song. And it was one of those, he didn't hit it.
He didn't. And I'm not going to disagree with you on that at all. I think that song was way out of his range. And I don't think he performed it nearly as well as it should have been. That being said, the only reason that Jeremy Jordan isn't in this spot is because he's too young. Because I've seen
Bring Me Home.
Have you not heard him sing it?
No.
There's like 6 different videos on YouTube that I've listened to of him singing Bring Him Home, and they make me weep. So yeah, that's kind of Jeremy Jordan. Literally just insert Jeremy Jordan in all of my answers from now on. And even the ones beforehand.
He can play Alfie too.
Yeah, absolutely. And Glinda at the same time.
See, and honestly, it's the fault of the music director in Les Mis, the movie, because there is a version of Bring Him Home that is brought down an octave. Not even an octave, half a step.
Yeah.
There's a version, because we did it. Because our Jean Valjean couldn't hit those high notes, and so they brought it down half a step. Why didn't you just do that instead of making him look stupid?
Yeah. So. I mean, I don't think he looks stupid. I just think he didn't hit it as well as it could have been hit. But I agree with you. I think that it should have been brought into his range, and it wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. Who'd you pick for Javert?
Norm Lewis.
Why?
Because I've watched him perform that part a billion times, and I love him, and he's perfect.
So, I picked Neil Patrick Harris.
What? Okay, well... Okay, I'm not mad. But what?
Have you ever seen him and Jason Segel do it?
Yes, I have.
That's why I want him to do it. I don't actually want him to play the part. I just want him to do the confrontation song.
Because they apparently did that on the set of How I Met Your Mother all the time. I know. I've seen that was a Graham Norton interview. I've seen that interview.
Yeah, I've seen it. If I just need like a smile, I watch that. But I don't even care like who plays Javert. He might be a good Javert. I don't really know. But I just want him to come on just for the confrontation song.
So Norm Lewis is on is it the 25th?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I love his voice. I think he has such a strong, like just powerful voice. I love seeing him as Javert. I know that he was also on the Fox Live Jesus Christ Superstar. And he was amazing on that too. So I was like, I'm in for it.
This is just another show like Wicked that you have to be very specific with who you choose. Because it's a very hard show. I mean, it's very operatic. It's supposed to be an operette.
It is.
So it's hard.
All right, who do you have next?
Enjolras.
You go first.
Aaron Tveit.
Okay, cool. We have the same answer.
He is my and a half, because I had 2.5 people that he's my and a half. I think that I could see someone else playing Angeras, but I want him to play Angeras. That's what made me fall in love with him, was him doing it. He's the best part.
It's the only part you like?
No, not the only part. Samantha Barks was also in it.
Oh, Samantha Barks is perfection.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's definitely who I have as well, because I loved him.
And it's funny, is that besides Jean Valjean, that's my second favorite character.
It also reminded me that I really want to go see Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, he's so beautiful.
Well, I'm glad we agreed on that.
Glad we agreed on that too.
Is that like the first one that we've agreed on?
No, Lea Michele.
Oh, that's right. Well, duh.
Okay.
Okay, so we're 2 out of like 12 so far.
Right. So what about Fantine?
Okay.
Oh God, I know exactly who you're gonna pick, and I'm gonna be so mad about it, I bet. Here we go. Come on.
Why am I gonna be mad? Why are you gonna be mad about it?
Who is it?
No. Who do you think I'm gonna pick?
If it's Anne Hathaway, I'm gonna smack you.
It is not Anne Hathaway.
Good, because she did not do good in that performance.
Stop slamming and making noises.
I'm doing it on purpose so that it's in the recording.
It's not Anne Hathaway.
Good.
And I kind of hope we have the same answer.
We won't. You don't know this person.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm mad that this isn't your answer.
Oh God, now I'm gonna be sad. What?
Carrie Hope Fletcher.
No.
How is that not your answer?
You'll see why.
But how is that not your answer?
You'll see.
Alright, so Becca is the one that showed me who Carrie Hope Fletcher is. I had no idea who she was. And then she was like, hey, you need to listen to this, and go follow her on YouTube, and go follow her on Instagram. And now I'm completely obsessed with her and her voice, and she is perfection, and I love her.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because she's my Eponine.
Fine.
She's my other one that I will accept no one else. Besides maybe Samantha Barks.
Who did you pick for Fantine then?
Actually, the woman who played Fantine when Carrie was in Les Mis is Celine Schumacher. She has an incredible voice. I'll have to send you videos of her. She actually does the podcast with Carrie. And I just want to see her because she has an incredible voice, and I would love to see her as Fantine. Even though I know she's already played Fantine, I couldn't find any videos of her singing any of Fantine's songs. And also, Fantine honestly isn't a character I really care about, so which is funny because she's like the whole basis of the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, at least the first.
Right.
Then she dies.
Yeah, but like she's the set off of the whole show.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get what you're saying.
But I just would love to see Celinda play it.
Okay, so you have Carrie Hope Fletcher as Eponine, and you have told me that you will accept no other answer. However, I have another answer.
Yeah, Samantha Barks.
Yeah, it is Samantha Barks because she's amazing and I love her. And I actually that show that she did like in the UK where it was like singing, like it was basically American Idol but in front of Andrew Lloyd Webber, like I actually followed that.
Oh, did you? That's awesome.
And like I almost picked her.
How dare you, fake fan. You didn't pick her, fake fan.
No, I almost picked her for Elfie.
Oh.
On this list because she did an insane performance of Defying Gravity on that show. But then I was like, yeah, no, I don't know why I'm even thinking about it. Lea Michele is and will forever be my Elfie, even though she will probably never play the part. And I was like, okay, no, yeah, Samantha Barks is Eponine. Like, there's no other person. I'm sorry.
That's fine. But when I was obsessed with Les Mis, that's how I found Carrie Hope Fletcher. And she will always be my Eponine. Even though she's starting to get too old to play her.
Is she?
She's like 28. She still plays young.
Is she?
Yeah.
I feel like I look so much older than she is.
That's so funny. No, she just has a young face, just like I do. But she's starting to get too old. She's actually playing Fantine right now.
I know.
Is that why you picked her?
Yes.
Oh.
Because I'm equally obsessed with her now, thanks to you. So I'm aware of what she's doing with her life. And I was like, oh, duh. Becca's also going to pick her.
Nope.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so who do we have left?
Cosette.
I have 2 more people left. Cosette?
Who'd you pick?
Okay, so I picked Christy Altomare or whatever. I don't know how to say her last name. She is the original Anastasia in the Broadway cast of Anastasia. So again, I feel like it would be in her range, and she would do an insane job at that part. I love her voice. I love the Anastasia cast album. I know that it's not your thing, but I think it's perfection. I mean, obviously not. It already got taken off of Broadway, but I love it a lot, and I love her voice specifically. So
I didn't pick a Cosette because I don't care. I hate the character of Cosette.
Okay.
And I was like racking my brain, and I just didn't care.
Amanda Seyfried. I cannot. I'm never gonna be able to say her name. I hated her in that movie.
Okay, we shouldn't say hate. We don't know her. I don't like her acting.
I did not enjoy her performance in the movie.
Also, I just don't like her, like, performing.
Okay.
I don't like her performing.
Oh, that's right. You don't like Mamma Mia either.
No.
Fair enough.
So, like, she's just, have you ever just had, like, an actress that you're just like, I'm never gonna see a movie you're in? There she is.
I don't.
It's her for me.
I don't have an actress or an actor that I'm like, ugh, because I used to think that was Keanu Reeves for me, and then Keanu Reeves has just had an insane year of movies that I really like. But it was mainly Keanu Reeves after I watched The Lake House. That movie was terrible, and he was terrible in it.
All right.
Who are we missing?
Marius.
Oh, Darren Criss.
Ooh, he's a little too. He's too old.
Listen, okay.
His voice is perfect.
Since this is like fantasy and like not actually ever gonna happen, can I say like Darren Criss like 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Season 3 of Glee.
That's a lot more than 3 or 4 years ago, but sure.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Glee hasn't been on TV for like 4 years.
Oh, whoops. I think season 3 of Glee, when Blaine goes to McKinley, I think that's like peak Darren Criss.
Okay.
That would be a great Marius.
But yeah, like young Darren Criss.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2012.
Yikes.
That was 7 years ago.
Oh yeah, because their senior year was the year after my senior year. My Marius is my duplicate. I picked Chris McCarroll again. And only because he's already played Marius and I just want to see him play everything.
Fair enough.
I just think, I don't know, he just has a great belt, man. I just love him.
Okay, who are we missing? Oh, so the only other person I picked was Gavroche, and that...
Can I pick 2014 Dean Matarazzo?
Yeah, because that's what I picked.
I just shared a video of One Day More at the Tonys with him as Gavroche.
He's so cute. Like, he's adorable now. Like, in his little Stranger Things, like, geeky moment right now.
Yeah, but he's 16, so...
That's fine. He's still a child. But him as Gavroche, like, with his little smile, oh my god, he's so cute. He was adorable.
Yeah, I loved him. Have you seen the video of him doing the backstage tour of Les Mis?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that's what I was like, no one else can be Gavroche. No, the kid in the movie did really good. I really enjoyed him, too, with his Cockney.
Yeah, he was good. But, I mean, Dean Matarazzo's just
I'm a sucker for little boys with curls, man. They're so cute.
Yeah, he's super cute.
Okay, Rent, your show.
Okay, so... yeah, let's talk about Rent.
We're gonna leave Mark for last because that's my favorite character.
Okay, so who do you want to start with? Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 characters written down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Me. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing someone. You're missing somebody, which is fine.
Yeah.
So where
oh, I know exactly who I'm missing too. That's funny. No, let's start with who did Taye Diggs play?
Taye Diggs played Benjamin Coffin III.
Benny. Okay. I actually didn't know that. Now that I hear that.
Benny, what happened to his heart? Sorry, I really like Rent.
I picked Chris Jackson.
Oh,
you're welcome.
That is such a good choice.
I know.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you my Benny, but then we're gonna have to go straight into Maureen so I can justify my Benny.
Oh God, sure.
Because I picked Taye Diggs.
Did you pick Adina?
I did pick I did pick Idina Menzel. Okay, so as much as I love Idina Menzel as Alfie and Wicked, Maureen Idina Menzel is just like, oh my god, I love it so much.
Yeah.
So when I was thinking of a Maureen, like I started thinking about other people that have played her. I started thinking maybe Julianne Hough because she was in Rock of Ages. She had that kind of like attitude to her, and I just kept thinking and thinking and thinking, and then I was like, no, if I had to pick anybody in the world to watch live, it would be Idina Menzel. And as much as I love the entire original Broadway cast of Rent, like, she is, for me, everything. And then when I was thinking about Benny, I was like, well, if Idina's gonna be there, then Taye Diggs is gonna be there, especially if we're talking about, like, 2005, 2004. Like, not now that they're divorced, but, you know. So, yeah. So I picked Taye Diggs because I love Taye Diggs and I love Idina Menzel. So who'd you pick for Maureen?
I picked Laura Bell Bundy, who's the original Elle from Legally Blonde, because Elle is she's a different kind of confident than Maureen is, but I would just like to see, Laura Bell Bundy play someone who's not, I don't want to say dumb because Elle is far from dumb.
Ditzy?
But, yeah, like I would like to see her play like a more serious character.
Fair enough.
Which Maureen isn't, like, considerably serious, but...
Well, yeah, but she had more of an attitude versus, you know, I don't know. But I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we did Maureen. So then if we're done talking about Maureen, then what about, did you pick a Joanne?
Couldn't think of her name. I wrote Maureen's wife.
Okay.
Who was the original Peggy?
Jasmine. I can't remember her last name. Hold on. It's gonna bother me.
I mean, it's gonna be Ramos soon.
Oh yeah, it will be Ramos soon.
Maybe.
Oh my god, Anthony Ramos. I can't believe he's not on this list. Anywhere. Love him so much. Jasmine Cephas Jones.
Yes. Her. I can never remember her last name because her name is Jazzy. It's not even her name on Instagram.
I think it's like Jazzy Jazz or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Or Jazzy Jones. That makes more sense.
Yeah. She would be a fun Joanne. Just because I think that she's like real sassy.
That's so funny.
Why?
That you picked her from Hamilton.
Why?
Because I picked Renee Elise Goldsberry. Who was the original Angelica.
She's real sassy too.
Well, she's played Mimi. She played Mimi on Rent. Yeah. Which is why I didn't pick her. Because, like, I didn't pick her for my Mimi because she had already played the part. So I was trying to, you know, mix it up a little bit. So yeah, I picked Renee Elise Goldsberry because I think she would be perfect for that role.
I would love to hear her sing Take Me or Leave Me.
Right?
She's such a great voice. Okay, so who'd you pick for Mimi then?
Okay, so for Mimi, I picked Mandy Gonzalez.
Ooh.
So Mandy Gonzalez, for me, Mandy Gonzalez will always be In the Heights.
Right.
She played Nina in the original Broadway cast of In the Heights. Uh-huh. And I love her voice, and I think she would be a great Mimi.
I also just want to hear her be in Hamilton.
That too. And also, yeah, is it Mandy Gonzalez that did it? I can't remember if it was, because I listened to a lot of the, like, the demos for Moana. Yeah. And I can't remember if it was Mandy Gonzalez or if it was, oh my god, this is bothering me that I can't remember anyone's name today.
The only episode where we're talking about just people's names.
I know. Karen Olivo, who originally played Vanessa. Originated Vanessa. And actually, I think it was Karen Olivo that was on all of the...
Is Vanessa from In the Heights? Did he name that after his wife?
No, he didn't.
Weird.
Yeah, I know. So In the Heights was written before Vanessa, his wife, was in the picture. It just worked out that way.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Those of you that don't know, because it's Casual Theater Fan podcast, Lin-Manuel Miranda is married to a woman named Vanessa, and he also wrote In the Heights.
And In the Heights, Vanessa is the girl that Usnavi, who Lin originated.
That's hilarious.
Is like after and ends up with at the end.
That's so funny. I picked Maggie McKenna, who you might have seen her as Zoe, but she is on the current tour as Zoe in Dear Evan Hansen.
I might have seen her as Zoe.
I just think because Mimi is supposed to be 19, I just really like the idea of it being a young person again.
I get that. And like, I've seen Rent live 4 times. And I don't think I've ever thought that Mimi was 19. Even though it's specifically, like, she says that she's 19. And I understand that the information given is that she's 19. But I've never been convinced because Rosario Dawson plays her in the movie. Right. Like, Rosario Dawson is not 19 and was not 19 in 2005.
Yeah, I just think it would be interesting, you know, because we talked about the whole Dear Evan Hansen thing, seeing teenagers play teenagers. I just think it would be interesting to see, and she's not up and coming because she's literally starring in a national tour. Yeah. But I just think it would be cool to see, I'm pretty sure she's like 19 or 20, play a 19-year-old. So yeah. Also, she has a great voice.
Okay, so Angel?
I'm going to give you one guess.
I'm not going to guess. I just need you to tell me.
Ben Levi Ross.
Huh.
He actually wears, like, not drag. He just wears, like, androgynous clothes all the time. And I just think it would be cool. Like, I just think it would be cool to see him play someone who's a drag queen. That's why when you and I were talking about it, I asked if Angel was transgender or if Angel was a drag queen.
Yeah. Wow. I would love to see that.
Me too. And it was another thing where I like had to look into the story of Rent because I was like, is it relevant to be played by a person of color? Like, cause Rent is one of those shows that has like so many different, like cultures, races and backgrounds. Yeah. And so I was like, which characters it is relevant for them to be what they are in the original cast?
Yeah.
So
I picked Valentina, who actually played Angel in the Fox Live.
Oh, yeah.
Of the show. And let me tell you, I understand everyone has their opinions on like the NBC live shows and the Fox live shows that they've been doing. And while I completely appreciate the fact that they're bringing Broadway shows to the masses, I haven't enjoyed almost any of the NBC shows as much as I've enjoyed the Fox live. And for Rent, I was like, I had a watch party, like I was super excited for it. And then the guy who played Roger actually got like super injured in the dress rehearsal, so they basically just showed the footage from the dress rehearsal until the end. So that's kind of why I put Valentina on my list, because I want to see it live, like for real.
I also really like what they did with that character, where they changed Angel to be a transgendered person.
Yes.
Which was a really good way of doing it, because it was bringing like today's, I don't want to say issues, but like today's topics into a show that was very revolutionary when it came through. So it was really interesting.
Yeah.
I also agree. The Rent Live thing makes me angry, not because of really anything to do with like who was cast, blah, 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 as you'll see. But it made me angry from a theater kid point of view, because the guy that played Roger getting hurt is why we have understudies.
Understudies, yes. I literally screamed that at the TV like for 2 hours.
Like,
this is why you get understudies.
This is literally the exact reason why we have understudies. And so it was one of those things where I'm like, you can't bring theater to the masses without it being theater.
I agree. I completely agree. And I was definitely yelling that at the TV for the entire time, because like all I wanted to do was watch it live and watch it. And don't get me wrong, I believe that the ending of that show completely made up for everything, because they brought the entire original Broadway cast out, and I sobbed for like an hour, and I watched it like 4 times, just the ending. But yeah, I completely agree with you. That's why you have an understudy. So I'm kind of glad that they were able to at least put something out.
Right.
That they had filmed the dress rehearsal, and they were able to at least put something out. But at the same time, I was very disappointed at the fact that I didn't see the whole thing live. And then there was like issues with the sound, because they weren't planning on putting it out. And yeah.
And my thing is that I have no issues with the NBC or Fox, the lives. Like, I don't really have any issues with it. I really liked Grease. In fact, Aaron Tvei's version of Sandy is what's on my playlist.
I haven't had issues with the Fox ones, because Fox has done Grease. They did Hairspray. They did Rocky Horror, which wasn't bad. And they did Rent. I have had issues with the NBC one. I didn't like Peter Pan. I didn't like Sound of Music. And I don't think they've put anything else out. Oh, actually, who did The Wiz?
I think it was NBC.
Was it? Why do I feel like it was Fox?
I didn't see NBC, so that statement was invalid. I was just talking about Fox.
Where is it? That was 2015? Oh, it was NBC. So that, like, I enjoyed The Wiz.
That's a good show in general.
Yeah, it is. And I actually enjoyed the live show. Definitely more than I enjoyed Peter Pan, which I legitimately fell asleep through. Christopher Walken should not be performing live. And I didn't like Sound of Music. Like, I get them trying to put, I guess, like, big names in these shows to kind of draw attention and bring people to watch it, and I understand that. But, like, and I think Carrie Underwood has a great voice.
Shouldn't have been Maria, though.
She shouldn't have been Maria. Like,
another show where it's very specific who can play that character, because it's such a hard show.
Exactly. So I've definitely preferred the Fox productions, because, like, the Hairspray was good. I liked Hairspray. I liked Grease. Rocky Horror, I don't think was actually live. So I went in thinking it was live, and then it wasn't. So I was kind of like, whatever. It's basically like a made-for-TV version of Rocky Horror. And then, yeah, I liked Rent. I like what they were able to give us of Rent. And again, like I said, the ending kind of made up for the whole thing. And Rent, again, is one of my all-time favorite shows, so...
Definitely.
Those are my opinions on that.
Oh, we didn't do Collins.
We haven't done Collins, we haven't done Roger, and we haven't done Mark.
Okay, who'd you pick for Collins?
I picked Wayne Brady for Collins.
I would love that.
He's actually played Collins before.
Oh, okay.
I remember seeing him be cast for it and legitimately wanting to fly to New York to see it, and I couldn't, so that's why he's on my list.
I love him, though.
Yes.
He literally is what made Whose Line like what it was.
Oh, for sure. I also want to see him in Kinky Boots, but that's not what we're talking about. He's also played that part too.
So I picked Javier.
You can do this. I have all the faith in the world. I'm gonna try really hard not to laugh. Go. You can do this.
So I picked Javier Munoz.
There it is.
Ah, yes.
I'm so proud of you.
I don't know how much she's keeping in of her coaching me on how to pronounce his last name.
There's an Enye. There's a little, little squiggly over the N.
I honestly just want to see him perform. But I just think he would be so funny as Collins, because Collins is such a great character. He's like, I don't want to say goofball, because he's not, but he's like goofy.
He is. And he has like that like sarcastic, funny, like kind of, but he's also like too cool for school kind of guy.
Right.
So yeah, I can see him playing Collins.
Definitely. Man,
no, I kind of wish I could change my answer.
I mean, you can. The rules are made up. No, the points are made up and the rules don't matter.
Well, no, because that's not cool if I'm going to take away Wayne Brady.
Who are you going to say?
Well, I mean, you brought up Hamilton again. Like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I would want to see Leslie Odom Jr. as Collins.
Ooh. He also would be good. He also would be a good Benny.
He would be a good Benny. But Collins has a bigger part, so...
Well, I almost put Daveed Diggs as Benny, because I just think he would be...
That would have been good. We just want, like, to take the entire cast of Hamilton and put them in this show.
Just those two roles, apparently.
Yeah. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I count Daveed Diggs as Benny, that's 5 people that we've talked about.
That's funny.
That have been in Hamilton.
Right. All right. Who's your Roger?
Jeremy Jordan.
Oh my God, me too. I think he's someone who can do like all genres of, I don't want to say all genres of music. I don't want to hear him rap, but he's just someone
I do not want to hear him rap at all.
He's just someone that I feel like could do the rock sound that Roger needs, because that's the hard part, is finding someone who could do both. Like, I want to hear him sing Rent, like the song Rent.
Like the song Rent, or One Song Glory.
Ooh.
Right? Because he was in Rock of Ages.
Yeah.
And in Bonnie and Clyde, which is Bonnie and Clyde's not rock, but it's like, it has that like harsher sound.
The gravel, yeah.
Yeah. So I think he would be a great Roger.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he would be a great anything except for like Hamilton, but like...
He could be a good King George.
He could be a great King George.
I was going to say, the only white role in the whole show, give it to Jeremy Jordan.
He could be a great King George. That man does no wrong in my eyes.
No.
Okay.
All right, we're going to do the same thing with Mark.
I can't believe we picked the same Roger. Because I know we picked the same Mark.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Jordan Fisher.
Just because I think that he needs that redemption of being like, listen, y'all, I am talented AF. And I should be able to play Mark. I should just get to play him full out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's one... Okay, first of all, you, Becca, know my feelings about Jordan Fisher. You, listener, don't. I love Jordan Fisher. I have never watched Dancing with the Stars in my entire life until Jordan Fisher was on that show, and I watched the entire season. Surprisingly, I've never actually seen him in any of his, like, Disney Channel stuff, because I know he's been on the Disney Channel. Hey guys, it's Eni. I am going to interrupt real quick just to bring up the fact that Jordan Fisher also is half of the duet that sings Happily Ever After, which is the song that plays during the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. It is probably my favorite fireworks show in all of Disney, and you guys know how much I love Disney, so it's been bothering me for the past 3 days that I didn't mention it while we were recording, and because of that, I recorded this little bit to stick in the middle of the episode. Okay, I'm done. Bye. He was the second person to play John Lawrence and Philip Hamilton. No. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Philip Hamilton.
Junior.
He's not a junior.
Oh yeah, he's just named after Eliza's dad.
Yeah.
So it'd be Philip Schuyler. Got you. Continue.
Stop confusing me. He was the second person to play John Lawrence and Philip Hamilton on Broadway in Hamilton. in Hamilton on Broadway. English is hard. And then Moana came out. He did like the poppy version of You're Welcome with Lynn. And I was just like, swoon. I love him so much. So now I watch him like live stream on Twitch. Like he plays all these games that I couldn't care less. He plays Fortnite. I've never watched anyone play Fortnite, but it's Jordan Fisher and I love him and I want to see him do all the things. And yeah, I was so excited when he got announced as Mark, and I wanted to see him in that role, and he was like the first person of color to be cast as Mark, and I was so excited. And then everything that happened with the live show on Fox happened, and I was just like, no, I wanted to watch him, like, only him. Like, I didn't care about Vanessa Hudgens. I didn't care about anybody else. I was just like, I want to see Jordan Fisher as Mark. And for that reason, I want to see him as Mark. I love him so much.
I just want his redemption arc.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so that's my dream cast of Rent. And now that we've mentioned all of these people, I'm very sad that I can't watch them all perform it together.
Like, I just think we need Jeremy Jordan and Jordan Fisher to just do Rent, like
anything together, like legitimately anything together. And I think that if that were ever to happen, I might actually die.
Please don't.
I mean, I'll try, but I can't make any promises.
Okay, so there's actually something I kind of want to touch upon. When you and I were picking the shows that we were going to Dreamcast this week, we picked Wicked and Les Mis, and then you're like, well, let's do Rent. And I said, sure. Like, I like Rent. Like, I own the movie and all of that. But it made me think about how, while I like Rent, and like, I know most of the songs, I don't know Rent inside and out. Which is not something you admit in the musical theater community.
Well, it's funny you say that because that's kind of how I feel about Les Mis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like I know Les Mis, like I know the songs. There's definitely songs that I don't know as well. I've seen it live once, and I've seen the movie, and that's about everything else I've seen of it has either been on YouTube or like that's it. It's something that I've never really been super into, and that's definitely one of those shows that like if you're into theater, you have to be into Les Mis.
Right. And it's one of those things where like we as a community, I should say, so we, the theater community in general, whether you're a fan that, you know, enjoys the music, whether you're a fan that is in theater, backstage, front stage, whatever. In general, I feel like the theater community is like a very welcoming place, because it accepts all different genders. Like it's the first place that you are like welcome. It's always pushing the envelope, especially with shows like Rent, for things that a lot of people don't deem acceptable. Yeah. However, inside of the community, I think that we are so, I don't even want to say we, because I don't feel like I'm like this. I might be. So judgmental when it comes to the shows that we do like and the shows that we don't like.
Or even the shows that we know and the shows that we don't, because me and you, or you and I, excuse me, like we're definitely more into contemporary musicals than we are to the classics, with a few exceptions, obviously. So I don't even think it's a matter of liking it or not liking it. I think it's just even being familiar with it. And there's this kind of sense of, oh, well, you don't know Rent, then you're not really into musical theater.
Right. And that's because, like, when we were, like, listing all of the characters, I had to ask you, like, who did Taye Diggs play again? Or, like, who was Maureen's wife? Like, I'm not that familiar with it. I've seen the movie a couple times, and I know most of the songs, but really just the popular ones. Like, I don't know all the words to the Angel and Collins song.
I'll cover you.
Yeah. So, like, I know that song, but I just forgot the name of it. So, like, I don't know. I much, like, the three songs that I listen to regularly in Rent are the big ones. La Vie Boheme, Seasons of Love, Take Me or Leave Me. So, like, I don't know. It's one of those things that even when you and I were talking about it, I was embarrassed to tell you and be like, what is this character's name? Like,
oh, that's so dumb. Like, I
know, not like you in general, but like, you know what I mean?
No, I get it. No, but I get that. Like, there's a stigma, like, about if you don't know X show, then, like, are you really a musical theater fan? Like, do you really know your stuff? Like, we've made it a point to repeat the fact that this is a casual musical theater podcast. We are in no way experts or deem ourselves to be the end-all, be-all when it comes to anything that we talk about here. I think that it's a crappy thing that people are judgmental about it. I would never judge you for not knowing a show. Just like I hope you would never judge me for not knowing a show.
Oh, definitely not.
Because I kind of feel the same thing about Les Mis. Like, I know the big songs in Les Mis. I don't know all of the words to all of the songs in Les Mis. And that was definitely the hardest one for me to cast because of it. Whereas Rent, like, I'll Cover You, I have sang, like, Running Down the Beach and, like, at the top of my lungs. And, like, I know that cast album inside and out.
See, even Wicked was hard for me because I've only seen the show once, and like I know, like I've seen and listened to the whole show, but like the big ones are the ones that stick with me.
Oh,
the big ones are the ones that I listen to.
I don't know, like I feel like you can say that about any show though. Because just because you see a show or you've seen a show multiple times doesn't mean that you need to know every word to every song and every person who's ever played any part in that show. I know Wicked very well. I do. Just because of Rent, I became a fan of Idina Menzel, and that led me to becoming a fan of Wicked. So that was another one of the shows that I just was very into. But there are plenty of shows, even shows that we've talked about. Because as much as I love In the Heights, I don't know there are a lot of words. Lin-Manuel Miranda, I will never not take an opportunity to talk about him. Lin-Manuel Miranda uses a lot of words. Yeah. Like a lot of words. And there are definitely songs in that show that I don't know the words to. And I don't think anyone should be judged for that.
No, and even like, I don't watch old musicals. So Singing in the Rain, I know Good Morning, and I know Singing in the Rain. And like, barely know that it was Gene Wilder. You know, like, it was Gene Wilder, right?
No.
Who was it? Gene Kelly.
There it is.
See? So, like, I don't know. It's one of those things that it shouldn't matter how you became a fan. The fact that you're a fan of it. Like, Be More Chill literally was crying about it the other day that I couldn't go see it before it closed. However, I don't know that soundtrack inside and out. I really only know the big ones because I was hoping to see it, honestly, and I like to see shows as blind as I can. But, like, it shouldn't matter. Like, it shouldn't matter how much of a show you know. It shouldn't matter. I mean, I've listened to Bonnie and Clyde once, decided it wasn't my thing, but I'm still a huge fan of Jeremy Jordan. I'm still a huge fan of his career.
Like, yeah, I don't think it should matter what kinds of shows you're into. It shouldn't matter how many shows you've seen. Like, maybe you're a person that lives somewhere that you can't see a national tour and you can't see, you know, maybe your town doesn't do local theater and all you know are cast albums. That doesn't make you any less of a fan than someone who lives in New York and sees 6 shows a week and, you know, has met Jeremy Jordan and has met, you know, like all of these people because they stage door every day. I don't think that makes you any more or less of a fan.
Exactly.
I think that if you love it, you love it. And I'm not here to judge you one way or the other.
The good thing, though, is that the people in our lives definitely have never made me feel this way. We are friends with people who are across the board. You know, we have a friend that literally sees every single show. We have, in every preview, you know, we have friends that have never seen like a national tour or a Broadway show and everything in between. Yeah. So we're lucky that we have people in our lives that aren't like that. But I feel like the theater community as a whole needs to be very aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely pretentious people out there. And I think that can be said for any kind of fandom or any kind of, I guess that's the word I'll use, fandom. Yeah. Because that can be said for anything. And it sucks. I feel like it's prevalent in the theater community, which also sucks. Especially since this is, you know, what we're talking about and what we're into and the thing that we love. And we're nice people and we just want to be super inclusive of everybody. And even like people who have never listened. You know, we've had people who told us that they've never seen a Broadway show.
Mm-hmm.
They've never really listened to Broadway music and
Mm-hmm.
still listen to our show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made them want to start listening, which is, number one, baffling, because who are we? And number two, like, it makes me so happy because I love theater because of its inclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a word?
Yes.
Sure. And it sucks that the people who are pretentious, who do judge you for whatever it may be, kind of overshadow the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Because they seem to be shouting louder than we are. But yeah.
I think that's a nice place to wrap up on, because I don't really have anything else to say on that point. It was just something that I was thinking about when we were casting Rent and Wicked, because when you said them, I was like, yeah, I could cast that inside and out. And then I started doing it, and I was like,
That's exactly how I felt about Les Mis. I was just like, okay.
Sure.
That was definitely the one I saved for last, and it took me the longest to do.
See, that was the easiest one for me, because I was like, Carrie Hope Fletcher, Alfie Boe, Aaron Tveit.
But yeah, I guess we can end it there. I don't really have anything else to say other than we love all of you, no matter what you listen to, what you don't listen to, and as long as you're a good person, we love you.
Yeah, def, j'adore. I'm in like French mind because of Les Mis, because we had a whole conversation about how to pronounce Les Mis. We won't have it on air, but we had a whole conversation about it.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to have this conversation again. Okay, you can follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter at SincerelyUsPod. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _EenyMeeny. That's INYMEENY.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I am still real active, guys, so go and tweet me on Twitter. It's at Becca Eddowes, BECCAEDDOWS. Our logo is by the beautiful and wonderful Synergetic Art on Twitter. And remember, even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise.
Sincerely us.